So hello, my name is Kevin. We have three owners in total, including me. The other two is Bearish. His name is Jeremy, and then we have JP, as you guys can see. Basically, this server has been here for over a year now, and I recently joined this group. But it's been thriving, and we've made so many friends. One of the main things that a lot of people love about the server is the voice chat and the live trading that we have. We try to do almost every day. Either me, Bear, or JP's on, sharing our screens, talking about what we like to see in charts, answering questions. So you guys can always try to come on, ask us questions. We're not opposed to answering questions. Me, Jeremy, and JP, we love answering questions anyway. But today, I'm basically going to go over a quick overview about the Tailored Trades LLC server. And then I'm going to be going over the Traditics bot, which a lot of people have, questions about because it's a very powerful tool if used correctly. It's just not many people know how to use it. And, I do want to shout out the main people that have been on with us for a while now, hopping in regularly. We have Tom, we have Mikey, Dr. Mikey, Flavorkin, Kraken, Options Trader, Ramsey, of course, Javi, Amar, and all these people, Hayden as well. So pleasure having you guys on for this long. It's been amazing seeing this grow. I wasn't here from the start, but even when I joined, it's been amazing to see the server grow as much as it did. And I love the people here, so it's definitely something to stand behind. But anyway, let's get into it. So I'm sharing my screen right now, which you guys should be all able to see. If not, just feel free to ping me. But over here, what we have is the Start Here section. This is very important to read. I believe for you guys, when you join, you have to read these rules. And to get access to the server, you need to accept the rules. So make sure to read them wisely, right? Read every word. And then if you agree with us, accept the rules. You can always come back to the rules on the channel that's named as disclaimer, right? So you can read that there. If you have any questions, you can always head to this channel named support. Here you'll see a button that'll say create ticket. You can click this. It will create a separate private channel where we'll have only us and you. So so you guys can ask questions there. If you want to manage your subscription or upgrade, you can always head to the upgrade channel over here. It shows what current trading channels we have, and you can click this over here. This will direct you to our checkout website, which will show you the packages and the current pricing. Socials is self-explanatory, right? Shows the socials that we currently have. So when it comes to live voice, this is our most active part of the server. You'll actually see it being more active than our actual text channels like general chat, premium chat, and forex. This is because we're on here most of the days. The beautiful thing about our server is we're usually on from 9 a.m. Eastern all the way till like 5 p.m. Eastern. People usually take like an hour or two break. Then we come back at 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're here till like 10 p.m. This happens almost every day. In the morning, afternoon, we usually trade futures and options, and then in the evening and towards the night, we usually trade futures, right? So always come join us here. The pit is available to you guys right now momentarily because we just want to make it available for everyone to get a glimpse at the server. But this is usually just capped off to the premium members, right? General VC, we don't use this as much, but you can usually join here. If you see us here, that means that we're what's it called? We're available to everyone. But yeah, that's for you guys. Private voice, that's something else. But announcements, self-explanatory. If you have anything important to explain, you guys can see right here. Recaps, we try to post our weekly recaps for each week. As you can see, this was last week's recap. You could see Bear, as usual, did amazing. No losses. I chugged along a little bit, did well. JP, consistent as always. He takes one or two trades, but does pretty well. If you ever have profits, you can always trade them over here. Not trade them, post them over here. As you can see, I missed out a fill that I could have got 10K profit, but I had to go wear socks, so there's that. Then we got general, premium chat, futures chat, self-explanatory. General chat is open to everybody, so you guys could chat there. If you have any questions or anything you want to talk about stocks, we're always there to talk. Premium chat only available to premium members. Futures chat is more oriented towards futures only. If I were to say out of the three chats that we have, futures is our most active chat, because if I were to be honest, this server, most of the people trade futures because we use a lot of prop firms and it's very cheap. We use prop firms such as Apex Trader Funding, and you get access to big capital, and usually you could trade alongside me, JP, and Bear, and all the other guys, right? So that's where this is our most active chat because of that. JP over here trades, not trades, but he usually posts market analysis. He tries to do it every morning. This is very important information. Not only does it talk about options and stocks and important stuff you need to know about stocks, it talks about the overall market worldwide. So you should definitely take a look at that. Over here, we have free ideas. This section is completely free to people who have agreed to the rules. Um, Chaos, if you, I'll just mute you for now. Thank you. So free ideas is available to everyone who accepts the rules. You only need to premium members. We have JP, Anamity, and Marks, right? You can see all of these guys' trades over here. Just get a glimpse at what kind of trades we post in the premium section. So feel free, if you are a free member, to assign the roles, get these roles, so whenever they send out something, you'll be tagged. The next area is options idea. This is self-explanatory. This is just capped off towards the premium members only. You have Bear, Bishop, DD, Amar, and MTA, and Snowy ideas, right? So whenever we have trade ideas or thoughts or charts that we want to post, we'll post it through our bots, and they will come to these individual channels. And as you can see here, you have the role select, so you can not miss a ping. Next, we have option swing ideas. Months from now, we look to expand this, for people who cannot, trade in the morning, right? Who have jobs. We have a really amazing analyst named Kumo. Feel free to check him out. He doesn't post as many alerts and enter as many alerts, but when he does, this guy actually it's a she. She's pretty remarkable when she trades. So yeah, moving on. We have futures forex, right? This year we have Bear, Excalibur, Infinity. Do keep in mind, most of Bear's and I futures trades, JP as well, we only have it on voice. The reason for this is sizing comes very different when it comes to futures versus options. So you see me, Bear, and JP actually voicing our trade ideas for futures on the voice compared to bots, right? Luckily, fortunately, Bear finds somehow time to also post future trades, so you can trade ideas, right? So you can always check that out. We also have Excalibur, who's amazing at posting charts and is very detailed about his analysis, so you can check that out. Infinity has been consistent. He posts pretty good analysis and entries, so you can check that out. Our next section is crypto ideas. Over here we have about 4 analysts. Actually, no, 3. We have Kenny Ideas, Jack Ideas, and Furious. Kenny and Jack mostly are day traders and swing traders, versus Furious is more of he tries finding like small projects, small crypto projects that have a big outlook, right, a big projection, so on. Then we have equity ideas. We only have Zeta right now, and honestly, he fills the gap that we have in Zeta and equity pretty well. This guy has amazing trade ideas. You'll see him post really good entries, and you could go look at these charts and these tickers that he posts, and you could see valid setups. So feel free to give him a look. All right, I know not a lot of people trade equity, but if you do ever want to get into penny stocks, Zeta trade ideas are a good place to at least look to see why he enters, why he trades, right? Why he enters his trades, right? Or what kind of setups he's looking at. Just a word to the wise, for all these analysts here, these are all our own trade ideas, right? This is just us taking our own trades. This doesn't necessarily mean you just follow us blindly, right? You're not supposed to follow us. What you should be doing, or what you could be doing, is a better use of word, is looking at what we're looking and trying to see why we're looking at what we're looking, and if you wanted to enter, where you would enter, right? So that's the best utilization of trade ideas, seeing the setups, why we're seeing these setups, why we want to enter, and so on. This way, you guys can learn to trade yourself, and then our community grows, and it becomes a much more positive place. All the people that hang out with us, the major group, the major core, these guys didn't just blindly follow our trades. They looked at the charts, they asked us questions. We love answering questions. They asked us questions, they learned from it, and because of that, they're only few steps away from being very successful. So keep that in mind. Use trade ideas wisely, right? They're not just commands that you just enter and enter your own trades. Over here we have Crypto Hub. These 4 channels are more geared towards crypto chat. We have crypto news as well. There's this we have Tradie Ticks, which I'll get into. This bot over here for the crypto bot ideas. This one shows irregular trades and also continuations, reversals, so on. As you can see, bullish reversal will say the symbol, the entry, possible entry, and so on. So you guys, if you trade crypto, use this as maybe confirmation or an insight of what could possibly happen. And then crypto breakouts. This is Tradytics as well. For anyone who trades crypto, you guys know usually when something pops, it pops for a while, right? So this one shows the breakouts or breakdowns that happens, and you can look at the charts that they post here, right? This one's the hour chart, for example, and you could see, you can now take this ticker, right? For example, the symbol, and then enter into your own charts and see if it's good for you to enter. Next, we got sports. This is self-explanatory. We got the betting chat. We got DD Bets, right? If you guys remember, option analyst DD King. He has a sports betting thing as well. And then we got Ducky, who's one of our core group. He also posts his sports bets. Now we're coming on to Tradytics. You'll see the next section is flow/AI bots, right? So I'm going to go over this section briefly. What I want to get a little bit more detail into how to actually use the commands for the bot. So golden sweeps, option sweeps, dark pool. These are all things you guys should search up on your own time and get a better detail of. You guys do not just want to see, like for example, we see this Apple golden sweep, right? Golden put sweep. Just because it's a golden put sweep doesn't mean you enter into puts right away. You have to learn how to, first of all, know the difference between a golden sweep, option sweep, and dark pool, right? You want to learn the differences, learn what's important to see and what's actually important to look at. So therefore, you can use this wisely, right? And you can possibly see entries, right? Possible entries, right? One thing this is a very powerful tool, but if not used properly, it can just liquidate or just absolutely make you go broke. So learn how to use it, right? Learn how to use the golden sweeps, learn how to use the option sweeps, dark pool, right? Learn how to use these things. There's multiple videos on YouTube from other channels, and soon I'll upload a video on how to actually use, how to interpret these data points, right? These different data. So make sure to look at that. Make sure to learn about that before looking at this. You could see we have multiple channels here. All of these are powered by Tradytics. It's a very expensive tool that we purchased for you guys to access, and it's very expensive, so make sure you use this. Because if you purchase premium, right, you want to make sure you utilize every part of the value you're getting. So Tradytics is very important to use. Bear, and I know Bear uses it, JP uses it, I believe Amar uses it as well. They've had very good success because they've had the ability to understand what each of these channels mean, what the information that comes from the bot means, right, and what's actually important to look at. So keep that in mind. The next channels are going to be news channels, right? We have this channel is for beginners. Has a few candle concepts, and then also has an affiliate link for Webull, so take a look at that if you don't have Webull. Benziga news, Tradytics post Benziga related news over here. You could see this is not just for the blue chip stocks, right? It's for almost every ticker. You can see there's some small tickers like PSN and CVX, but there's also big tickers like Amazon. And what it'll do is it'll show the headline, it'll show the link that you can click, and you'll be directed to Benziga. So take a look at that. We also do have Bloomberg Terminal News, Walter Bloomberg, sorry. This will take all of Walter Bloomberg's Twitter posts and it will redirect it here to this channel. So if you do follow that, you do want to take a look at Bloomberg. Next, we have insider trades. This is a very important, very powerful tool you can use for Traditics, but keep in mind, not in all insider trades gives you insight to a possible future movement. It's just showing what insiders are doing, right? So again, as I said, you want to learn how to properly use this information to be able to make good use of this, right? PSO, take a look at that. Social spike. This goes over what tickers are mentioned a lot over most social media platforms. I believe it's over Instagram and Twitter. I might be wrong, but you can see over here. Let's just say earnings comes out, right? You'll see Amazon will have, like, as it says, 184 mentions, or it maybe Amazon has some bullish news. The mentions will go up on Instagram and Twitter, right? So you see Traditics will start posting when there's irregular or just a huge amount of mentions coming out on social media platforms. Analyst grades, this is where Traditics will put out any important, emphasis on important analyst grades for tickers. Not only will it be for blue chip stocks, but it will also be for smaller cap stocks as well. So keep an eye on that. Earnings earnings calendar, self-explanatory. This bot posts, it redirects Twitter posts from the Earning Whispers account to this channel. This will show when upcoming earnings will be and what I believe the weekly or the daily chart has been up to this point. So take a look at that. Now, bot terminal is where I want to get to, and this is where I'll be almost ending this whole presentation. This is where you can actually interact with the Traditics bot, and I'll go over a few basic commands. And don't worry, I'll be recording this, so you don't have to memorize these commands. Not only will I be posting and recording, I'll also be posting all the commands you can use for Traditics. I'll be going over the main ones, not all of them. So I'll just be going over the basic ones, and you guys can feel free to look at the announcement that I'll make later on today about all the commands and so on, so you can get a proper look at how this, how it's used. Let me just make sure it's still recording. All right. So I'll get started, right? The prefix to communicate with this bot, right? So basically what I mean by prefix is for this bot to be able to know you're talking to it, you need to type in TR dash. This always needs to be done with every single command that you do with this bot. And keep in mind, this is a very powerful bot, so you always want to make sure you're typing in the right stuff so you get the right information. So if you want to look at big flow for a certain stock, what you'll do is you'll type in big flow, right? And then space, and then the symbol. So for this whole demonstration, we're going to use Apple, because I'm pretty sure everyone knows Apple. So we'll type in Apple, right? And then we'll press enter, and you'll see Traditics after a few seconds will redirect a message of the big flows from Apple today. Not only will you see if it's a call put, you'll see what kind of type it is. As you can see, you see golden sweeps here for the majority of these 10 big flows. You see the strikes and the expirations and the premium, right? So as I said, you want to learn these concepts, learn how to use this information, and trust me, this tool is beyond powerful. And as Bear pinned over here, you can go directly to Traditics website and it actually shows the commands. But also don't worry, I'll copy and paste everything from that website that's important, like the commands, and post it in a pinned comment so you guys can look at it. The next command I want to talk about is the flow sum, right? If you want to look at the flow sum of a certain ticker, all you have to do is type tr-flow sum and then the ticker. We'll use Apple again. You give Traditics a few seconds and it'll post. This over here will show you how the option flow is looking for the current day. I believe it's the current day. No, it's actually, yeah, it is the current day. So you see the comparison of calls versus puts, right? So as you can see today, Apple is bullish just like ES is bullish. Most contracts are out of the money versus in the money, which means, right, if I were to interpret this data, sorry, if I were to interpret this data, what I would see is, okay, first, we have a lot more calls than puts, right? Also keep in mind, when it shows puts, this can mean uh, institutions are selling puts. If you sell puts, if you don't know, that means you're bullish. So not only do we have a huge majority of people buying calls, we also have a possibility of majority of people selling puts, right? So that already shows we're bullish, right? The next thing you want to look at is out of the money versus in the money. Why is this important? Because out of the money, which is yellow, and in the money, which is blue, if the out of the money portion is more, it takes up majority of the circle, this means that the ticker has a probability to run even more than what it already is. If you get what I mean, if most people will choose a later strike than closer to in the money strike because they feel like it will reach that price point or close to that price point. And then we'll see buy versus sells, right? As I told you, you could sell contracts, but you could see there's a lot more buys, and this would correlate to people buying calls. You could look at the premiums. You could see that calls has more premium put into it versus puts. You could see the volume, 28.82K for calls. You might see, oh wow, what's the volume on puts? It's so much bigger. It's much bigger than calls. This is probably because institutions are selling puts, right? So don't be faked out. Always take a look at the bigger picture and not just focusing on one low point. And you guys can see the open interest calls just totally blow out puts over here, right? So that's the flow summary. The next command we want to look at is unusual flow. A lot of people I know will use this. This will highlight the unusual flows that are going through a certain wow, ticker, right? So we'll type in tr-unusual flow and then the ticker, wait a few seconds, and Traditics will, wow, I spelled that wrong. Let me correct myself. All right, I spelled it right. Yeah, all right. So Traditics will give this, right, and you'll see unusual flows, and you will see what's unusual, what kind of type it is, similar to how it was showing in the big flows, right? So that's a command you can look at. Next command I want to go over is whale watch. This is actually pretty interesting. Whales is something you want to look at because these are, you know, what a whale usually means is a trader or an institution with a big amount of capital that executes a big trade, right? So this is something important to look at because these people won't just put their money into anything, right? So we typed in whale watch Apple, and this will show which strike whales are unusually putting a big amount of money to. So you can see here that the 165 strike for Apple has had an unusual surge, and this is where the whales are placing executing most of their trades. So you can look at the option chain, see why they're doing it, look at the charts, right? Always do your own analysis before entering anything. The next is net flow. So if you want to look at the net flow of a stock, you can look at, you could type in tr-net flow and then the ticker. You'll see in a few seconds, Traditics will show the net flow of the stock, right, of the option flow. Then if you want to look at IV is very important to look at, by the way. Always keep that in mind. If you want to look at an IV of the stock, you type in tr-IV Apple, or not Apple, but whichever ticker you're looking at, and it'll post over here the IV of the stock, right? You could see that the IV's higher than the implied volatility is much higher than what it usually is today, right? Today it's the average is higher than what it usually is. All right, now we're going to move on to dark pools, the dark pool commands, and this will be ending in a few minutes, so I'll make this quick. You'll type in tr-dark pool, type in whichever ticker you want. Sorry for all the stutters that I have. And you'll see it will pull up the dark pool data. You can look at this. Again, you want to make sure you learn what golden sweeps are, dark pools are, unusual usual trades, so on and so on, to use this properly. If you want to look at the dark pool levels, you could just go ahead, type in DPL levels and then the ticker, and you will find this coming up. This is similar to the strike prices and price level, so you'll see there's a lot of trading going on at 164.94. So you want to then look at the chart and see, okay, is this a support, resistance, profit taking point, so on, right? So it's very useful. Then, okay, if you want to look at the market data, right, we're going to move on market data. You could type in TR-all and then the symbol, and this will pull up this will basically pull up an AI prediction for the stock. As you can see here, it says green is bullish, blue is neutral, red is bearish. I'll be honest with you, I don't know exactly how to use this. I'm a person who doesn't really trust AI when it comes to trading. But if you are into AIs and finding AI's perspective, this is a very helpful tool you can use from Traditics, right? Moving on, we have the big movers. This is more just pulling out the big movers from the entire market. Oops. What you want to type is big movers, I believe. I think so. I'll post the announcement with the correct symbol command. But basically, there's a command that's similar to this, where you could see the biggest moving stocks for the day. Then if you want to see, as I said earlier, there was the insider trades thing, right? Insider trades could be very insightful. If you want to look at it for a specific stock, you can look at, you type in TR-insider and then ticker. You can pull up over here and see the insider trades, right? And it'll say what day the trades were executed, what transaction type, shares, how much shares, right? So on and so on. Next, we have earning estimates. So this is pretty useful for people who want to find the actual specific ticker, right? So you type in TR estimates and app on the ticker, right? We're going to use Apple again. This is showing the estimates for prior times and future times. So you can always use this. It's very helpful. I believe, yeah, it shows all the way up to 2 years from now. So that's pretty big. What's next? The last thing is if you want to look at the news for specific ticker, you can just type in news in Apple. And you could see Bear corrected me over here. He typed in the correct command. You could see the big movers and the biggest losers, right? So you can see CHTR was the biggest gainer today and PBR was the biggest loser. For those who know USB, it gained a lot today, right? So you can see Amazon was actually one of the biggest losers, which is pretty crazy, right? That's why, as you saw in the what was it? It was like social spikes, right? You could see right here. You could see Amazon was mentioned 184 times, right? So you can see the correlation between each bot. You know, you would use multiple confirmations, multiple data points to enter into a big profitable trade. So keep that in mind. But the last thing I want to go over, last basic thing I want to go over is the news command. You type that in, and you could see that Apple has not had any news as of late. Let's type in, I don't know, what's something that had news. Let's go to Amazon, right? Let's see if Amazon had any news. It had no news. Okay, let me type in Meta. Oh, yeah, Meta should have news. Okay, whatever. I guess they don't have any news for today. That's what it is. They don't have any news for today, right? But this tool is useful to find any relevant news. But that's just a few basic, not few, but that's a lot of basic commands you can use to use the Traditics. I highly suggest learning all of these terms over here, learning how to use them, and then you can use this bot terminal, which is near the bottom of the server, to your advantage, and you could see how to use it, and it will be amazing to use. Trust me. Okay, the next thing we're going to go over is Surge announcements. This is an affiliate we have with Surge Trader. It's a prop firm. It's a very good prop firm. They're more on the expensive side, but with that expensive side, you get amazing fills. You get a good platform. You get good profit points, right? Drawdown is not too bad. You could swing positions, so take a look at them. If you want to use our links, just I believe you could go to the pinned comments and you could find our link to open an account. Search Trader, if you have any questions, you could go to his channel and ask. And of course, we have the off-topic chat for the most random stuff in our group. And of course, you know, we do have the VC quotes where we do pin everyone for all the ridiculous things we say day in and day out. Even though we do trade, we're a bunch of guys, so a room full of testosterone is a room full of jokes, as they say. So, of course, you know, Bear quoted me on certain tickle instead of certain ticker, and I just messed up again. And you can see Hayden ended up saying I'm such a dirty little scalper, so feel free to always use this. But yeah, that's the overview of server, how to use Traditics, to a brief explanation. If you guys ever have any questions, always feel free to ask us in general chat, since general voice is not always open, or not a lot of us are on there. If you're not a premium member, always feel free to ask us in general chat. If you are a premium member and you see us on voice, I highly encourage you to come on voice and just speak. I promise you, the only people that are picked on is me, JP, and the core group. It's never the people who come on and are new and just talking and just want to learn. It's just the core group that gets picked on, right? And jokingly. So never be hesitant. We've had people in this group that I'm not going to mention that have been shy. They start to talk, they start to ask questions, and they are just getting better and better, right? So, and you don't have to just talk to me, Bear, and JP. You could talk to other members. You don't just have to talk to us. So always feel free. Join us on the pit. If you're a premium member, we love talking. Me and JP love talking. Bear love giving out good trade ideas or talking about his thoughts on charts. So yeah, but that's it for me. If you guys have any question, you can unmute now itself and ask. I do have to leave in a few minutes, but does JP or Jeremy have anything to add?